Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, yesterday I told you about the announcement from NASA and the things that they're doing that just didn't seem smart to me to be talking about one vaccine is better than another. Well, all that talk that they did has changed the way people think about vaccines dramatically. So back in January, there was a survey done to Canadians asking what their feelings were towards vaccines. What percentage of the people were ready to get a vaccine shot? And remember, vaccines here in Canada really were, I think we had like 1,000 people in January vaccinated in Canada. So it wasn't a lot. And people were at about a 65% rate saying absolutely yes we will. Then we had the no's, and then we had some saying we don't know yet, we're undecided. A new survey came out just this week and they said that it's up to 75% of Canadians are in favor and say they're going to get a vaccine right away. Now that's very high because we have we have an indigenous population and there's a lot of hesitancy in some areas with our multicultural, they don't necessarily trust vaccines. They're not used to it. Vaccines in their country are far different from vaccines in other countries. So yeah, there was a lot, that's a high number. And then they were asked about the individual vaccines. And when they talked about Moderna and Pfizer, it went from 75% to 85% said they'll take one of those vaccines. Then when they talked about the AstraZeneca and the Johnson & Johnson ones, the ones that's been in the news all the time, and the one that NASA said is, it's good, it's not as good as the others, is down to 55%. And now, in all the vaccination sites, and when people are calling in, they're saying, what vaccine am I getting? And in a lot of cases, when they say you're going to get the AstraZeneca vaccine, people are saying, no thank you. Or when they get their phone call saying to come in, they'll say, okay, which vaccine is it going to be? Because some weeks it's Moderna, some weeks it's Pfizer, some weeks it's AstraZeneca, depending on the supply. And when they're told it's AstraZeneca, they're saying, no, cancel mine. I'll sign up again later when you have a different vaccine. And that, to me, has been the biggest problem with many government and health officials running things. That's the problem with having the federal health advisories and scientists. Then you have your individual provinces here in Canada, like you would have the states in the United States, all making their own decisions. And the federal government is not overseeing them all. They're letting the individual provinces make their own decisions when it comes to the COVID plan, as far as vaccinations and things like that are concerned. Would it not have been smarter to just have one idea? Here's what we're doing right across the country, folks. Here's how we're handing out the vaccines. It's going to this age group, and then it's going to first responders, and then it's going to medical staff, and then it's going to teachers, and then it's going by something. But you'll go from, I live 4 miles from Quebec. And our vaccine, the way we're handing it out here, is completely different from the way they're handing it out just 4 miles down the road. Even though our cities are attached. Our two of our major cities, Hull and Gatineau and Ottawa, are attached. There's completely different rules and regulations. And it's very confusing for a lot of people. And no wonder when you have one government body saying this and another government body saying that. Now, you folks in the United States, when you're getting your vaccines, you're going by what the manufacturers recommended dosages are. So for Pfizer, it's 3 weeks. For Moderna, it's 4 weeks. For AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson's one shot. AstraZeneca can be up to 12 weeks. But the shorter timeline is better. Here in Canada, we have one government agency said, yeah, we got to follow that. This is what we should be doing. That's what they say. And then we have another government body come out and say, you know what? We think it's better if we get more smaller protection to everybody than just vaccinating everybody at the proper timeline when they're fully vaccinated. We think we can protect more people this way, and our numbers will look better, by the way. Because we can say we're vaccinating way more people now than if we just said we're giving them one dose 3 weeks and 4 weeks apart. Now, if we go 4 months between doses, think of how many people we can say we're vaccinating with the same amount of vaccines. That was a very big thing. And people are saying now you're being very skeptical there, Don. You're being very skeptical because NACI said they studied it and it's perfectly good. Now remember, NACI's also the ones who just told you the AstraZeneca vaccine isn't as good as the other vaccines. But here's the thing. NACI is a recommended and things like that. But the chief medical scientist for Canada, the entire country of Canada, has come out and said that the longer you wait between doses, the less and less effective the vaccine is, especially with people with underlying conditions and older people. It can drop down to as much as 20% after 6 weeks if they don't get their second dose. We're waiting 4 months, folks. 4 months, 16 weeks, not 6, 16 weeks. And that, even Pfizer has just recently came out and said, you guys are going off script. We are not responsible for any of this. We still say you should be handing out the doses, the second dose, after 3 weeks. So, yeah, no wonder there's vaccine hesitancy. And when you come out and you say that one vaccine is actually better than the other vaccine, of course, people are going to want the one that you said was better this week at least, right? Because you change your mind so often. Also, you're going to slow down the vaccine rollout because of this. But instead of just having one voice and one countrywide, this is how we're doing it, we've gone the individual routes. And we've gone the individual routes so the federal government can say, hey, it's not our fault. It's up to the provinces on how they're rolling out. And the provinces can go, it's not our fault because we're still waiting on the proper amount of vaccines. It's instead of having the one plan, working together and getting things done, they'd rather be able to play the blame game with each other like schoolboys in a debate. Right? I'm out. No, he was safe. Yeah, no, you're out. He's safe. That kind of thing. They sound like 5-year-old children, all of our politicians, when they're debating back and forth procedures and trying to play the blame game of why things aren't working out. The simple truth is, had you worked together and come up with a single game plan right across the country, things would have been better. There would be less hesitancy. We would have had one plan. There would have been no confusion. And there wouldn't be 17 voices out there saying, oh, by the way, this is what you should do. Because 4 miles down the road, that same voice from another person is saying, yeah, you shouldn't do that. You'd think it would be a simple thing, but nothing in politics anywhere in the world is ever a simple thing.